You can no longer be blamed anymore. Let it be known in the comments if you're the type of person that was the fall guy or fall woman in the dynamics that you may be a part of. Were you the person who everybody just kind of blamed and pointed at and said, oh, it was them? You know, if it wasn't for you, if you hadn't said this, if you hadn't done this, if you had done what I told you, none of this would have happened. That's not going to happen anymore, but let it be known in the comments if it's happened to you in the past, okay? You're not going to be the fall guy anymore. The point blank. You're not going to be blamed anymore for the mishaps and the misfortunes of other people, especially when you literally have no direct involvement in any of these situations. And that's the thing that's kind of crazy to me about it too. It's like a lot of times people will blame us for things that we have no part of and we never did and we never wanted to and we never will, you know? And it's so easy to blame people who do not go with the herd. That's what a lot of people will do. It's like if you are obviously the odd one out in one way or another, people are going to point at you and say, yep, it's him. All right, because they're not riding with us and this is what happened to us and they're over there and it's their fault. It's going to be so easy to blame you when, you know, you're not a part of that crowd, right? And the thing is that instead of everybody taking responsibility for their own wrongdoings, they like to point fingers. They like to play that type of game, but those types of games are over. All right, it's not going to work anymore. You're not going to be the fall guy. You're not going to be the scapegoat. All right, let it be known if you feel like you are the scapegoat or you used to be. You're not going to be in that role anymore because you're way too focused and people see that. A lot of times when you pull your energy back, people will see that, wow, you know, we literally cannot blame them anymore, you know, whereas when you were accessible, you were an easy target. Point blank, you were an easy target when you were around. All right, when people saw that it could be anything really. It could really be anything. Like sometimes, you know, you could be going to an event and you just shine the way that you shine. And maybe you outshine some people who felt like they were the ones who were supposed to shine. And so because maybe they didn't get the reception that they want, right, for themselves, they start blaming you for why they didn't get an opportunity or someone didn't talk to them or someone didn't seem interested in them. It could be really, really insanely strange how these things can go. You're not going to be the fall guy, especially at the workplace. These things can happen, you know, where you could be just like bossing up at the workplace. You could be doing your own thing, minding your business. You could be doing an exemplary job at your workplace. You could be doing something to where people realize that you are a standout at this place. But anytime something goes wrong, they're going to be quick to blame you because perhaps the way you go about things is not like everybody else on the team. So for everybody else, it's easy for them to blame you and say, oh, it's you, it's you. You're the reason why our quotas are not being met. You're the reason why we got this complaint. And oftentimes you're the opposite. People may come back to the workplace looking for somebody like you. People may come to the workplace looking for somebody who calling you by name, looking for you by name. And so it's just really insane how you will be the type of person to where you may leave a very large impact on those around you, and you know, and you'll get blamed for things that you had no involvement in. It's really, really wild. And so what I could really say about being the scapegoat is that I know what that's like. I know what that looks like, and I know it's a game that's being played by a lot of narcissists. These people do not ever want to take accountability. They have a fear, even a phobia, I will go as far as to say. They have a very deep, morbid fear of taking accountability for their wrongdoings against other people. And so it's easier for them to point at people and say, listen, you're the reason why. This is why this didn't work out. This is why, you know, I didn't get this. If you had kept your mouth shut, none of this would have happened. And it's all really dumbing down verbiage and tactics to get you to stop living your best life and also to try to stop you from making them have to take accountability. Like, it's really crazy. So no, you're not going to be the scapegoat anymore. When you remove yourself from these rooms, when you cut off the disrespect, when you cut off the access, and you decide that you want to be your own person and you're not with the drama, I'm telling you. And that was one of the best things that I could have done for myself, because there was a lot of people who tried to blame me for things that literally I had either very little involvement in or no involvement in, to where it would, you know, where it would warrant, such a very angry, volatile response from them. When I remove myself from these people and these situations, I continue to grow. All right. And I didn't have sleepless nights. I didn't have fear. I didn't have worries, because I knew that people were trying to use me as a way to stop themselves from having to take accountability. They never wanted to grow. I wanted to still grow. They never wanted to be honest with themselves. I wanted to be honest with myself. Like, people will project and they will literally hold you back, will put you in a chokehold, and they'll make you to where you're their puppet. They want to be able to live vicariously through you as well. Very, very scary things that a lot of narcissists, toxic people will do, when they've done a lot of bad deeds, done a lot of bad things, low down things, and they don't want to come to terms with what they've done. So instead, they go on attack mode and they start choosing people as their scapegoats, as their targets, as their rivals. And it's over. That's done. When you decide that you see what's going on and you don't want to move in those ways, then it's over. You're not going to be the scapegoat. You're not going to be the fall guy anymore. Continue to live your best life. And those who have tried or who were successful maybe in making you a scapegoat are going to have to eventually look in the mirror. You understand? Like, look at themselves and be like, okay, I have a lot of issues. Let's start addressing them. Okay. And as for you, keep growing yourself, and you know the right choices you got to make for your own life. So keep beautifying your life and enhancing your mindset, right? To where anytime these sort of situations do present themselves, you know how to better wade these waters. All right. Thank you guys so much. Stay up, stay smiling, stay hydrated, and take care of yourselves.